What's up, people? It's dlaetre. Just wanted to take some time out from the show, making everything from behind the scenes, and show you how I come up with some of my talent. Now, this tutorial is not for any of the expert card makers out there. I get a lot of messages from kids that want to know how to make their calls more realistic. And I'm always willing to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because in making the show, I got a lot of help from a lot of people on YouTube. So. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is not for anybody that know what they doing. This is for the people that just get in the game that want to make their cars look more realistic. Alright? So, and another thing I want to say, the car that we're making right now with y'all can have. Don't nobody ask me, can I use this car in a show of mine, or can I get the formula for this? I'm putting it on YouTube. Duh. You can have it. Matter of fact, when I exit this tutorial, I'm not even gonna keep this guy, so y'all can do whatever y'all want to. First thing I like doing is doing the face, because I like to get the face out the way. Another thing I do like doing too is, if you remember, people, that everything on this year's Smackdown is in 3D points. So what I like to start off having a bald head on my character, because it gives me all my 3D points, 48 or 48, as you see down in the corner. And basically, it's a couple ways you can create your face. I had to speed up some of this video, to save time. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can pause it, slow it down, if y'all like the character, whatever, and y'all can keep them, like I said, however you want to do it. But there's a couple ways you can start. You can create a face. You can use shapes to alter how the face looks. I mostly stick to morphing. That's what I'm doing now. Just basically messing around with how I want the face to look. I have no idea, like I said with the paint tutorial, what I'm doing. It's just a random, idea I'm coming up with. And like somebody told me, one of the great car makers out there, Insanity, he told me, some of your calls come from sometimes when you have no idea. So another thing right here, what I'm doing is picking the skin, picking the skin type and the greasy factor right here, the specular, that can make your car look different. The age, anything over 25, 30, you're trying to make your car look too old. I like to keep mine in the 20s, anything under that, just to give him that, the definition to his face. As you can see here, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Anybody that don't know the face morphing, you've been living in a cave, face morphing just depends on what you want your character to look like. So that's why I'm pretty much speeding this part up. Body types. Now, depending on what type of car you make, it's up to you. But what I want to start off, first thing I want to say is that when you make a car, I like to start off with the chest and the shoulders. Now, if you heighten the chest a lot, you get the effect of I think that's called the muscles above their neck. I think that's the deltoids. You get that effect of the larger deltoids if you straighten that out. And then of course you gotta bring the neck down, because you don't want the character to look like E.T. And then from that, you bring the shoulders in. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want your man to look real cocky and big, bring the shoulders in, bring the height of the shoulders down a little bit, and bring the depth of them in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This will give your character a little bit more realistic look. As you see right here, I'm bringing the abdomen out because, not all wrestlers have a flat, stomach. Same thing with the waist right here. I know it might sound gay, but I bring the depth out a little bit so it looks like they have real, you see some guys straight on here that make their wrestlers look like straight ironing boards. And it's not how, the human body looks, you know what I'm saying? So, now again, as you can see, since I changed the proportion of my body, I got to go change the proportion of my head, because, you make that smaller so it looks better on the body. As you go into the tattoos, one thing I want to say, people, when you go to your tattoos and you make them, switch them around. Don't settle for the norm. Switch them around, make them a different angle. That's how you get unique designs. And do not make them pitch black dark. Come down here, bring down the shade a little bit, and then bring down the transparency so it looks like it's blending into the skin. Do not make your tattoos pitch black dark. I know there's a lot of car makers out there that cannot stand that. I'm one of them. Now we gonna go to the hair. Now again, when you pick the hair, just keep in mind of your 3D points, because if you're making somebody complicated, then if you use a lot of your 3D points, then you're not gonna be able to do a lot with that person or put a lot on them. A little mustache and beard, sideburns. I'm just throwing this together. I'm speeding it up. So, yeah, no real direction where I want to go. This is just for my supporters. Now, right here, as you see, I'm about to make a wristband and make it real dark. But from the wristband, what I'm going to do is put a tattoo on it from the logo area. And a lot of people that was, ask me how you do this. And this is how you do this right here. Just one thing to remember. When you're doing this, make sure you get the transparency and the darkness of it right, because when you go out of it, when you hit accept, it's going to somehow make the picture lighter. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute as I mess around with the shade. You want to make sure you get it light enough and seen on the skin, because what's going to happen when you hit continue, it's going to make the tattoo stand out a little bit. You see right there? Now I had it almost basically see-through. And that's good in some ways, because you want some type of detail in the tattoo. And then you don't want it to stand out looking like a picture on somebody's arm. Now, bottoms, they take a lot of 3D points. Always remember that. Bottoms take up a lot of 3D points. What I like to do is just go for tights or regular tight / underwear. Again, depends on what type of character you're making. And as I'm making this person up, right off the top of my head, for the beginner car makers out there, I say this to you. At first, keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Use what's out your imagination. I don't make, superhero characters, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody to do that, but, that's not me. That's not what I don't do that. So, but besides, I think they're harder to make than regular cars. So